Hi everybody, I'm here reporting on last night's friendly at Hampden where we drew 2 each with the mighty Finland. And what can I say about this game? I was there and it was one of these games where the atmosphere is like, I don't know, a women's game or something. Half the stadium seemed to be full of kids with their mothers and fathers. It was that kind of high pitched cheering, if you can call it that. So it was a kind of unreal atmosphere, although there was a decent crowd. There must have been about, I don't know, 40,000 there. So an unusual game, a glorified training exercise, really. But what can you expect before we go to Germany at the weekend? So, 2 each draw, poor result. We should have won. It was typical of many Scots performances in recent times. First half, especially, the passing was too slow, the movement was too slow, too ponderous, pedestrian. Nothing in the final third. The final pass was poor, hardly a shot at goal. I think we had one shot on target in the first half. So there was nothing much happening in and about their box. Too hesitant at times to take a shot when we should have. I can think of one where Billy Gilmer got it placed right in front of him, about 20 odd yards out, and the whole crowd shouting, shoot, and he passed it forward and it came to nothing, obviously. So poor first half, although we dominated possession after the first 10 minutes. It was mainly us doing all the attacking, although they had a couple of breakaways. And I suppose what you have to remember is this was a step up from Gibraltar, who were, 203rd best team in the world. I don't know what Finland is, but they're a class, or a few classes above Gibraltar. So we were playing a better team. We were at home. The conditions weren't great. Blustery wind at Hampden. It was actually absolutely freezing where I was. I was right on the halfway line, the main stand, upper main stand, right at the back. I just moved seats. It was so empty at the back. And I moved right to the back and it was absolutely freezing. The wind was coming in there. You would have thought it was November or something. So anyhow, these are all the excuses for a poor first half. Second half, much better right from the beginning. More energy, more pace, more intent going forward. So when we did score, it was a pleasant surprise to score so early. And it was a sheer chunk of luck because Robertson got to the byline and his cutback was absolutely terrible. I mean, I heard the TV pundits later saying, oh, what a great pass back into the middle. It wasn't. There was no Scottish guy anywhere near it or going to get on the end of it. And the Finnish guy just deflected it into his own net. So big chunk of luck. Who cares? 1-0 up. 5 minutes later, it's 2-0 up. This time it was a really good goal because a lovely chip from the left from Robertson again, and this time Shankland, who'd hardly touched the ball, not his fault really, managed to fight his way to the ball to head it into the net when the guy was holding on to him, wrestling him, but he showed great strength and determination just to get his head on the ball and put it in at the near post. So well done to him. Shows you the value of having a guy who is an actual striker, even though he didn't touch it much apart from that. And he went off, he was subbed, what was it, 10 minutes later or something, 15 minutes later, I can't remember. But anyhow, 2-0 up. The game was won. We were dominating. It looked as if we could score more. We made some substitutes and they weren't for the best, but it's to give guys some time on the pitch, I suppose. Craig Gordon came on, 75th cap. Hopefully the last time we'll see him. Presumably he's not going to be on the plane to Germany. If there's 4 keepers going, he shouldn't be one of them. We shouldn't even be taking 3, but he shouldn't be one of the 4 keepers. So he came on, huge ovation, and it ended up, funnily enough, the captain, because when Robertson went off, he swapped the armband and gave it to Donkey Hanley, and then when he was subbed, he swapped it and gave it to Craig Gordon. So 3 captains on the night. That tells you everything. And the keeper ends up probably playing his last game as captain, but in fact gifts them the equaliser. He wasn't too clever at their first goal either, but he certainly gifted them the equaliser, the ball into the box. He comes diving out. He did get a fist on it, but he hit the guy as well. And when he was Celtic goalkeeper, he got away with that kind of thing all the time, but you can't get away with that in international football. So I suppose the ref quite rightly gave a penalty, because the way he came out, he was going to just take the striker out of the equation, which he duly did, although he did get to the ball first. So we can't really complain. You can't get away with that in international football. So it ended up 2 each. And by the way, the first goal was thanks to big donkey Hanley. Well, they could have stopped the cross coming in the first place, but of course he's 2 yards ahead of the guy who's going to head it into the net unopposed. Thought the goalie might have done a bit better. It wasn't exactly a bullet header, but the main culprit is the usual Hanley, totally unaware that the striker's 2 yards behind him, just waiting for that cross to come over so he can nod it into the net. So there's another guy who shouldn't be playing in the Euros next week either, but I'm worrying that he might actually start now. So anyhow, 2 each. Game's all over practically, and then we get a last minute or 93rd minute chance, I think it was, when Conway, the sub, young Tommy Conway from Bristol City, he actually made a good run, got to the ball, headed it downwards, but right in the middle of the goal where the goalkeeper was, so he could have fisted it up into the air, and then another defender headed it off the line, and that was our last chance to snatch a win. So typical of us. We lose a 2-goal lead in the last 20 minutes, get a chance to win right at the death and can't take it. So let's hope we don't see any of that in the Euros, although I suspect we might. So to sum up, what about that team that played last night? Well, obviously, as I said already, there's no way Craig Gordon should be in Germany, never mind in the team. So bye-bye Craig. There's no way Fat Tony Ralston should get a start. Because that guy offers nothing. He's slow, he's ponderous. When he goes forward, he's not going to do anything going forward as an attacker. And in fact, most of the time when he got the ball out in the right wing, he just turned round and hit it 10 yards back to Henry or inside to one of the midfielders. He however went forward with it, so he's a total waste of space. Donkey Hanley is a disaster waiting to happen, as we saw years ago when he was the, quote, mainstay of the defence. We never won anything, we never got into any tournament, so he's got to go. And he caused the first goal last night and had a couple other dodgy moments as well, so there's no way he should go. And Ryan Christie does some nice stuff, but he flatters to deceive. He's not got an end product most of the time. He just fritters out, or he has a bad pass or a poor shot at goal or whatever. So he shouldn't be in the starting 11 either. So I'm trying not to read too much into that game last night. It is only a friendly. It's just a warm-up. We did use a lot of subs. Even the lesser spotted Ryan Jack came on, did very little. It's typical of his Rangers form. So we can't really take a lot from it because of all that. Anyhow, I've now made up my mind. Opening game next Friday against Germany. Here's what I hope will be the team if everybody's fit. Whether Steve Clarke picks this, I don't know. But it's his usual 3-5-2 formation, or more strictly 3-5-1-1 formation. So if he picks this team, as I'm sitting watching TV, I'll have a wee bit of hope. You know, we'll do something against the Switzerlands and Hungaries of the world, if not Germany, in the opening game. So I would have Gunn in goal, no problem there. The back three would be Porteous, who's the other one? Oh, Henry, Porteous, Henry and Tierney, who had a good game last night. The wing backs would be McCrory and Robertson, obviously. The three midfielders between them would be, who would it be? McTominay, Gilmour and McGregor. Gilmour and McGregor were two of our best players last night. Ahead of them would be McGinn, who's again one of our best players last night, and up front, Shankland. So 5-3-2 when we're defending, and a 3-5-1-1 when we're attacking. Play that team. These guys play at their best, get inspired by the occasion, by the crowd, because there'll be thousands of Scots fans obviously there, and who knows, we might get the win and the draw that we actually need to maybe get out of a group for the first time ever, and if we do that, that'll be success in itself. So good luck Scotland, do your best players, don't let us down, don't embarrass us, and I think we'll all be happy.